You think death is a thief. At my age, I know it's just a librarian saying the book is due back. My name is Hattie Mae. I'm 83 years old. And no, child, I am not afraid to die. Life feels like wearing shoes that have walked through every season. Shoes that are cracked, worn, tired. Every morning I lace them up and I walk through another day. But some nights I look at those shoes and I think, maybe it's time to take them off. You see, the reason you're scared is because your party is still going on. The music is still playing for you. You've got people to call, trips to take, dreams to chase. But me? My party ended a long time ago. I'm just the last one here, cleaning up the cups. My George has been gone 40 years. 40 years of sleeping in a bed that suddenly felt too big. My eldest boy, too. The girls I used to laugh with, the neighbors I used to wave at, all gone. I walk through this life like it's a ghost town, houses still standing, but the laughter gone. And when I die, I'm not leaving home. I'm going home. They're all waiting for me. George is probably pacing, checking his pocket watch, saying, "Hattie, woman, you were late for everything." Now listen close. Death is not a thief. It doesn't sneak in the night to steal your joy. It's a librarian. It just says, "Time's up. The book is due back." And if you've read the book, if you tore the pages, cried on the cover, spilled coffee on the chapters, you don't mind giving it back. You're tired of holding it. The ones who are scared are the ones who never opened the book. They kept it pristine, afraid to crack the spine. And now, at the end, they realize they never read the story. That's what's scary. My soul is beat up, scarred, broken and glued back together with prayer and grit 1,000 times. It's dirty, and I am proud of it. Child, don't mistake my calm for indifference. I love life. I love the smell of coffee drifting through the kitchen, the sound of rain tapping on the roof, the laughter of children running down the street. But I don't cling to it anymore. I hold it gently, like a bird in my hand, knowing one day I'll open my palm and let it fly. I've seen too many people waste their years waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right words, waiting for the right chance. And then the waiting runs out. The clock strikes midnight, and they realize they never danced. That's why they fear death, because they never lived. But me, I danced, I stumbled, I sang off key, I cried until my pillow was soaked. I loved until my heart broke, and then I loved again. My story is messy, but it's mine. And when the librarian comes to collect my book, I'll hand it over with a smile. You ask me why I'm not afraid. I'll tell you, because I've already made peace. I forgave the ones who wronged me. I let go of the grudges that weighed me down. I said I love you more times than I can count. I ate the cake. I wore the red dress. I lived without saving anything for later. And when the time comes, I'll walk through that door like I'm walking into a familiar room. My George will be there, tapping his foot, saying, "Hattie, you're late again." My friends will be waiting with stories. My children will be smiling. It won't be an ending. It will be a homecoming. When my George passed, I was holding his hand. His eyes opened wide, not with fear, with wonder, like a man who had just discovered he'd been worrying about nothing his whole life. His lips curled into a smile, soft and certain. That moment, child, that moment was the heart of my story. It taught me that death is not chaos, it is not cruelty, it is mercy. The body knows how to let go. It dims the light slowly. It quiets the hunger. It hushes the noise. It's not a malfunction. It's kindness. So no, I am not afraid. I am tired, yes. Talking takes the wind out of me these days. But don't you cry when you hear that Hattie Mae has gone. Don't you dare cry. Celebrate instead. Play some jazz. Eat something sweet. Smile at the sky. Because I am not gone. I just finally took off the shoes. Child, don't be sad for me when you hear that Hattie Mae has passed on. Don't whisper in sorrow. Throw a little party. Play some jazz. Eat something sweet. Because I'm not gone. I just finally took off the shoes. I'll see you later, but you take your time getting here. You see, the reason you are terrified is because you think death is a thief. You think it sneaks in the night to steal your time, to rob your memories, to take away your joy. But that's a young person's way of thinking. At my age, you learn death isn't a thief. It's a librarian. It simply says, time's up. The book is due back. And if you've read the book, if you've really read it, if you tore the pages, cried on the cover, spilled coffee on the chapters, then you don't mind giving it back. You're tired of holding it. The ones who are scared are the ones who never opened the book. They kept it pristine, afraid to crack the spine. And now, at the end, they realize they never read the story. That is what's truly frightening. Leaving this world with a pristine soul, that's the tragedy, child. My soul is beat up, scarred, broken and glued back together with prayer and grit 1,000 times. It's dirty, and I am proud of it. When my George passed, I was holding his hand. His eyes opened wide, not with fear, with wonder, like a man who had just discovered he'd been worrying about nothing his whole life. His lips curled into a smile, soft and certain. That moment was the heart of my story. It taught me that death is not chaos. It is not cruelty. It is mercy. So don't waste your time fearing the end. Waste no time at all. Live, forgive, laugh, love. Because when the door opens for you, you want to be ready. You want to be smiling. That's why I am not afraid. Because I lived. And because I know death is not the end. It's just the next chapter.